Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, and it's weekly reading for the week of October 28th to November the 3rd. This week, Gemini, you have the beautiful Awakening Oracle card. You have the Seven of Swords, Three of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Strength card. So as I was putting down your cards here, Gemini, the message that came into my head was know your worth. And I think in particular this relates to a sense of personal power and value. So I'm going to see how that plays out in the cards. I think what is going on at the moment is that you are actually having some kind of awakening to seeing situations for what they are, because you are going through a period of energetic upgrade. I think your frequency is shifting, and when our frequency shifts, that's when things that are not resonating at the same frequency often become exposed. So that they can be released and let go. They just fall away because they're no longer a vibrational match for you. But often when we're going through that process, they really sort of come up full force to be re-experienced, or you see the things that have been going on under the curtain all along. So I'm just going to start off by reading out that Oracle card, Gemini, Awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You're going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you're experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of your life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. So, it really is a period of ascension for you, Gemini. And as I said, things that undermine your personal value when you're going through that process will be exposed. And I really feel, in your recent past here, that that's what's happening. We have the Seven of Swords here and Six of Pentacles, which actually came out in reverse, but I'm going to flip it for the purpose of reading these cards. So, this combination says to me, Gemini, somebody who has been, taking power from you. It could be, in sort of an energy vampire sort of situation where somebody has been kind of draining you, or you're in a situation with somebody who undermines your worth, be it in the workplace or in a relationship. Because with that Six of Pentacles in that reverse position, Six of Pentacles is a card of giving and receiving. So when, and it's about, maintaining the balance of that in our lives. If that's out of power, if this is in reverse, then it's often that we are giving out a lot more, time, energy, effort, even financial resources. And, we're not really getting anything in return, or what we are getting in return, could be just breadcrumbs. It's a fractional proportion of the energy that you're putting out. And with that combination of the Seven of Swords, the person that you're dealing with may be aware that, you're a giver and has potentially been willingly taking from you, whether it is in kind of a spiteful way, or a sly way, or whether it's just like, well, you know what, they seem to have all the resources to give out. This is great for me. But over time, that can really not feel so good, because essentially we need to be in situations that are an even energetic exchange, and that goes for, monies and energy as well. It doesn't work if one partner is just paying for everything if the other partner isn't making up for it in another way, and in another currency they can give, perhaps their time to do things more around the house, that kind of thing. It could be even being taken advantage of in the workplace, being overworked, being given unfair workload because you maybe come across as being the more capable person. It's that kind of energy, and I feel that maybe in the past, just because it could be just your good nature, that you are a giver, that you've been willingly doing that. But I feel under this awakening energy that you're awakening to the fact that, hang on a minute, maybe this just isn't fair, and I actually deserve my own amount of energy and resources coming back to me. Otherwise, it's just not even, in the scales don't add up, and it can lead to things obviously like burnout, fatigue, that kind of thing. So it's really time to shine the spotlight on this, Gemini, and bring things back into that sense of equilibrium. Okay, so focus energies this week. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Strength card. Yeah. So for me this week, this combination is you really, having the strength and courage to see the situation for exactly what it is, to kind of look it in the eye and to make some adjustments. I think this is you, literally putting down your tools and saying, right, well, I've done all this hard work. Maybe it's been blood, sweat and tears. Could be said to be that way in a relationship or in the workplace. And I think through your hard work, through your perseverance, you have built something pretty good here. You've potentially built up financial resources. You might have built up a beautiful home with somebody. You might have built, quite a good relationship, but it's been through your work, your blood, sweat and tears, your energetic input more than the other person. And I think you're recognizing that and thinking, well, I could continue building this, but I know that it's going to be an energy drain on me. And really, if the other person isn't willing to come to the party, then, potentially you would be better off finding a situation with somebody who can, and therefore you will have a lot more energy of your own to continue on with your own goals and pursuits. So I really feel like this is you coming to terms with the fact that maybe you're just not getting the returns for the energy that you've put, that you've really put into this situation. And you're really starting to gain an intellectual understanding of this, through this awakening energy. And 7, which you have 2 sevens in this reading, being that number of understanding and attainment. So you're really getting clarity on that. With the Strength card, yes, having the strength and courage to accept the situation for what it is. But also in particular in this reading, with that message that I got quite clearly at the start about knowing your value and knowing your worth and realizing your personal power, I really feel that the Strength card means, if you can if you can tame the situation, if you can bring this feeling of being out of power into balance, if you can tame these inner demons, and that can be your inner demons for potentially pretending, not pretending, but choosing not to see the situation for what it is, or, not holding the other party accountable, that can be an inner demon, right? If you can tame those inner demons, if you can bring them under control through your own compassion, then what really is opened up to you is an infinite potential. So we have to work on being in power, in a sense of power, in alignment, so that then, we can operate from a place where we are attracting, balanced situations into our life, and we won't be taken advantage of. That's what I'm seeing there with that combo as your focus energy this week, Gemini. It's really seeing that for what it is. Maybe, you might have to actually have a difficult conversation with somebody. You may have to think about leaving that job, or leaving that relationship in time. And interestingly, Gemini, what we see when you actually confront these things and you make those adjustments, what do we see here? We see the value coming back into your life. Celebration, value, abundance. Both of these cards talk about abundance. The Queen of Pentacles is a really capable, practical energy. This is somebody, who knows that they can build their own personal value and become abundant. It's somebody who knows that they can, nurture a household and do all of those things, but can also go out and earn an income. And, I think it is clear that you are this person, Gemini, because, this is probably what's led you to be in this situation in the first place, that you are so capable. So potentially you have attracted situations, that have maybe taken advantage of that good nature, or people that have, taken more of your energy. So just, be careful that you stay in that seat of power. The Queen of Pentacles is grounded and mature and dominant, and I think that she would see any of these situations coming from quite a long way away and be able to say, well, look, that's not in alignment for me, that's going to tip the balance of my scales, therefore I'm not letting it in. But it also shows you with that Queen of Pentacles, you know, she's holding that Ace of Pentacles. For me, this is you re-establishing your personal power. For me, this is really you getting a sense of your worth and, you know, realizing that you are of such value. And a Queen of Pentacles, she is, you know, she's up there in the highest cards of the Pentacles suit, which is, you know, financial abundance and, you know, material gains and all that type of thing. So this is you realizing your power in that, you know, not being willing to be taken advantage of. And I think that once you, you know, really establish your sense of power, Gemini, you know, you're going to feel like celebrating. And by releasing this situation, having the courage to look at it, I think it's going to bring a sense of joy and lightness into your world. Potentially, you might feel after a period of feeling a bit weighed down for a while that it really is time to get out and celebrate. And celebrate your abundance and your successes, which you've been so good at, rather than, you know, giving that out to others if you're not willing to do that. So I really do see, you know, a really big shift in your energy coming. You're really awakening to truths here. You're re-establishing your personal power. You're knowing your worth. And I think that's going to be means for you to celebrate that, Gemini. So an interesting little reading for you this week, Gemini. There's not a lot of major arcana here, but I do think that this is part of a series of events that you're awakening to that will, you know, it's part of your, let's say, you know, I'm seeing the breadcrumb trail again to your ascension process is resolving and clearing any of these energetic blocks. So I wish you all the best with it this week, Gemini. Keep in mind it's a general reading, won't be for every one of you. Leave me a comment if you'd like to share how it's playing out in your daily life. I'd love to hear, and I'll see you back here next week for another reading.